Boom.
It's time.
It is time. Good morning. Oh, we're going to do... I can't get straight face. Good morning, Crypto Warriors, and welcome back to the Gym into Crypto episode 139.
Oh, yeah.
Today is Thursday, April 5th, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we are here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
10-ish. What's going on? Decentralized in the house first. Gamekeeper. What do you win? You win a chance to have all your messages read by the rest of the crypto world right now because they can see you before anyone else.
Oh, yeah.
For the free Bitcoin yesterday, who won it?
Oh, yeah. So, for the free Bitcoin, Torrance J Playlist. Thank you for your comment. Already sent that Bitcoin to you. But we asked, do you think McAfee was ethical, or do you think it was something wrong with his approach to being paid to promote these different ICOs, different coins, even if they're terrible coins? Tron. But if you think so, let us know. And Torrance J basically said, no one forced you to buy any of these. If you bought into the hype and you thought to yourself, I can get rich quick listening to McAfee, we ain't
talking about internet security now.
Yeah, exactly. Then definitely that's on you. So thank you, Torrance J Playlist, for that comment, and we've sent you that free Bitcoin. Appreciate it.
There we go.
Cowboys, baby. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
We're coming back strong every year so we can disappoint disappointed America.
What's going on, Kat, Gia Rodriguez, Ghost, Tessa, Sumitri. Hello, everyone as you all flood in. Oh, you weren't a Cowboy. I didn't even see your shirt. That's why I was like, where does Cowboys come from?
Oh, yeah. You know what's funny? As soon as the Cowboys was named America's team, America went down. Like from 97 all the way to now, the last 20 years have been like,
oh man, Decentralized, way to keep it real. Decentralized said, LOL, I tried one McAfee pump and got dumped on. That's what happens.
Learning experience.
But you know what? I'm not mad. I think, to be fair, it's almost everybody's tried at least one pump, whether it's McAfee or other.
Everybody.
I've tried some Telegram pumps. I'm not going to lie, some may or may have not worked. Others were a crucial dumping and a quick learning lesson, again, early on. So
yeah, I remember one pump I got in that was actually successful was Pascal coin. If you ever
I remember Pascal.
I remember reading a few threads and people were saying like, oh, they returned to the essence of blah blah blah, and I was like, whatever, man. What time is when are they trying to pump this, whatever? And then somebody stated that they were going to start on the exchange, and I just kind of got lucky with that one. But same thing has happened to me. Got dumped on early on with what coin was that? I think it was Peercoin. Like, for those of you who have been around a while.
Oh, that was actually number 5 in the top 10 a couple years ago.
Yeah, so trust me, it's
Peercoin.
There's some coins in the top 10 now that will not be there in a couple of years. But Peercoin is one of them for all my OGs out there who remember that.
That was pretty fun.
It's a learning lesson. McAfee didn't tell me to do it, but when you follow enough channels, you look at stuff, you're like, all right, let me try. Let me see if I can make a quick 2x. And, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But, yeah.
Right. I'll put the script up actually on Twitter, and then I'll try to put it on Instagram as well. There's a script out for it where for the pump and dump groups where they teach everybody in the group. Everybody has an assignment, and how you see these troll armies shilling. They will literally have 5 or 6 people jump on chats like this, and one person say, "Hey, have you heard of?" Another person like, "Oh yeah, I got it too." And then like 4 more people, i.e., what we saw the other day in our chat room. So. Torrance J Playlist said Peercoin.
Yes.
Feathercoin. Yep. Feathercoin has been pumped and dumped so many times, man. Listen, come on. Actually, Feathercoin used to get some really good pumps though because of the volatility in it. Oh, yeah. You can see like 300-400% a day. But
yeah.
All right. On to the news. That's pretty funny reminiscing.
Reminiscing on the pump and dumps.
Right. Hold on. Let me get this article cam up first. Boom. India's central bank to stop dealing with all crypto-related accounts not banned on crypto, commentators say. First of all, let's give a shout-out to Cointelegraph because they literally, hands down, have the best artwork in the crypto game by far.
Oh, yeah.
I love this spray paint right here, like with the B. I think we should have that without the X. That B needs to be put on all bank walls. So I'm not saying to commit vandalism. I'm just saying if it starts happening around the world, the presence of Bitcoin will be known. That is spray paint on bank walls.
Oh, yeah.
But so what's basically going on is the Reserve Bank of India, RBI, has announced that the bank will no longer provide services to any business or person that deals with cryptocurrencies, adding that it's also looking to releasing its own cryptocurrency in the future.
Of course.
How ironic.
We've been talking about this digital rupee for a while.
Right. Statement on developmental and regulatory policies released today had India's finance minister criticize Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, quote unquote, for their lack of intrinsic value. They talked about that in January. And of course, a lot of large Indian banks are closing or limiting the functionality of crypto exchanges as well. And, you know, he goes on to bash Bitcoin as well, saying, hey, it has its associated risks. You know, you can't, you know, you don't know what's going up and down. It's volatile, this, that, and the other. However, even though it's that bad, we're going ahead and go and create our own. So,
yeah, exactly.
What are your thoughts on this?
It's so terrible. We need one too.
Right.
But yeah, you know, for regular people, if you can't win, join them. But for people who are in power, if you can't win, ban them. That's pretty much, you know, Venezuela. They was like, nope, not coming here. We got our own. And then India looks like they head the same direction. Yeah, we got our own. We don't need this. And also too, you know, some of the bigger people in the space have noticed that, you know, BitConnect kind of wrecked India.
Yeah. Because
a lot of them, when they jumped in, the first thing they got in was BitConnect. And then before that, there was an old scam coin, some of you may remember, called OneCoin, or how is it? Yeah, I believe it's OneCoin, but it was huge in India, and it was a big scam. They got caught. So a lot of what they've been exposed to has not been Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, which is, you know, positive.
Everybody trying to find a
bunch of
short way
scams,
around.
to make a quick buck. So yeah, I think they use that as the bait to basically reel people in, like, oh yeah, it must be bad, and then they, you know, do a blanket ban on everything, or on exchanges. And you can't get money from banks now. It's sort of like the marijuana industry back in the day.
I was just going to say, it sounds just like the marijuana ban. Yep.
And they couldn't get anything from the banks in order to fund it. However, with a global currency, at some point, may not need them. So hopefully their business model holds up. But I would not bet on it for the next decade.
You know what? Like, yeah, definitely won't bet on it. I mean, it's one of those things where literally the Winklevoss twins could take their Bitcoin holdings and start a lending services for other crypto companies. Yeah. It is. I mean, and that's an extreme example. But there's plenty of people in this space. There's plenty of mom and pop people who have a couple mil in the crypto right now who could start their own lending services for businesses. Yeah, so
that's me when I'm retired.
There you go. So you know, definitely don't have to just lean on banks. But again, it's so ridiculous. Like I said, it's like the marijuana ban. But what are you really banning? You are banning zeros and ones. You are banning code.
Software. Yeah.
Software. You are banning technology.
Communication.
This is a bad sign when it comes to moving forward in government on a global scale, not just in India, anywhere in the world where they're doing this type of stuff, U.S. included, where they're trying to overtax it or tax it in general. These are bad signs. But like you said, it's just like how it was with marijuana, and we see what's happening with that now. More people are finally breaking out of their deadly gang circle and saying, you know what, I want to get whatever. We got this 4th grade class, so
oh yeah,
you know how it is. Anya92 said, didn't Barry Silbert's company buy a bank? I almost said Shilbert, I'm so used to calling it that. He bought a bank?
Yeah, a small bank, using them for settlement payments. Yeah, it's like I said, it's going to be a few companies that can buy a bank, not the other way around. So, and in my opinion, if I was a bank and I was looking at business going forward, I would be welcoming.
Hey, why wouldn't you? I still don't get it. They, like you said, they had to get the tap on the shoulder.
Yeah,
that's because
that's the only. Yeah,
to be a bank president, I mean, come on, we joke and everything, but to run a bank, even if you're in your closed-minded, closed-door, traditional mindset, you have to have some knowledge about markets and how they move and stuff. So, for you just to really close off and say, nope, we're not doing any of this at all anymore. Like Bitcoins, they always said they had to get that tap on the shoulder. It was like, hey, we need you to read this statement, kind of like the Sinclair News channels, you know, where they all are in unison reading what's called a Deadspin video.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's the same way. I mean, they are literally getting their messaging from the main BIS, Bank of International Settlements, the main central bank of central banks. They're getting that PR department, sending every central bank in the world a script, and they're saying, you will read this, you will disavow any crypto-related things, and we catch you meddling in it. It's kind of like, I think it's like the mafia back in the day when the hardcore drugs came out. They was like, if we catch you messing with these drugs, that's it.
Be problems,
right, because the penalty is so big.
And then some of them still did it anyway, and then it got too big to the point where they were not going back anymore.
Right.
Like, all right, well, we're in it now, which is kind of the time we're in now. And there's still a couple OGs that are like in the mafia is like, no, never sell drugs ever.
And I think that's what's happening right here. It's the OG central bankers and governments around the world saying we better not catch you all in it. If you're gonna be doing criminal stuff, you're doing it for us with cash. And now, of course, it's getting out of hand. So we will see. Somebody said Aya92 said Kingpin CEO of BIS banning chairmen of different central banks. Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's the Kingpin.
Oh yeah.
All right. Some more news in the crypto industry, but positive news. Bitcoin Lightning Network sees first Android mobile app hit Google Play.
Oh yeah.
That happened fast.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Oh, yeah. Let's get it started.
What's going on?
Well, looks like the first available app on the Android platform using the Lightning Network is the Eclair wallet, which, as we've seen with other wallets, the first one may not be the very best.
Right.
However,
some buzz, people. It
gonna be
happens.
some buzz. Got to get tested. Got to be used a good amount because you want to see, onboarding process. How much volume can it take? Making sure those bugs don't steal funds either accidentally or on purpose. So a few things you got to test. But good to see the progress. And like I said, we've never been more excited as this price has dipped because all the innovation coming around it. The next bull run will probably be, in my opinion, the biggest one in history because you have everything in place for people to buy and sell quickly, as well as use it as a payment system. So once that gets figured out, Lightning starts using Litecoin starts using Lightning Network, a few other ones. You'll start seeing the switch we've been talking about for a while. So.
There we go.
Definitely good to see that.
Alec G said he looking to set up a Lightning node. We will talk, Alec. We
Yep.
got some things going this way too, so we might as well all get on the same page.
Oh yeah, got my boy Bitcoin Vegan working on one now. So
there we go.
He just set up his full node.
This is going to happen, people. Whether they like it or not, this is going to happen.
Oh yeah.
So great news, like you said. Can't wait to start using some more of these. This is the first one out. Many more to follow. And again, this is when no one's paying attention, people. These are things we were talking about before that first bull run, and then kind of when it came, what was it? When Litecoin took off to $300, everybody was talking about Litecoin, but they didn't realize a lot of technology that just came out 2 or 3 weeks before the bull run. So I think, like you said, it's going to be the same thing with this, where the next bull cycle, everybody's going to be talking about it. It's like you miss the important moments. Like days like this are the important moments of this technology maturing. So it's been pretty good.
Definitely.
Speaking of maturing technology, or at least just paying to get on somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Ripple would pay to play on major U.S. exchanges. All right,
money.
So what is Ripple doing? What's going on?
Well, Ripple looks like they're doing what I expected Ripple to do. I'm pretty sure most of their business dealings on exchanges that they want to get on have been, can we pay you to get on these exchanges? And I was correct because now we see that they offered $1 million to Gemini to be listed.
What?
It also allegedly offered Coinbase $100 million loan worth of Ripple so that they could be put on their platform. And I remember there were rumblings about maybe Ripple maybe put on Coinbase.
Wait, we got to run on one more time. They offered Gemini $1 million to get put on, and then they proposed a $100 million loan to Coinbase to get on?
Worth of Ripple, yep.
This is not market manipulation is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't know what to call it. I mean, come on, people, really?
Come on, dog. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things.
Man.
Come on, Garling House. Well,
allegedly, and we'll say allegedly, and this is all allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Yeah, but Ripple is definitely one of those coins or projects that I'm not surprised at all. I was pretty adamant about the fact that them getting listed on exchanges is something that is going to happen, but not necessarily needs to happen on the bigger ones. The altcoin exchanges, but I don't really see the problem with them paying because there are exchanges that charge you.
Right.
For example, Binance is charging, I think KuCoin as well is charging $1 million a piece just to get listed on there now. So,
and real quick, one thing I will say about the list, I think $1 million is excessive. To be fair, should there be a price? Yes, only because it's tech support, it's fees. I understand something like 25 or 50K. And another thing, the reason why I think that charging is fair, again, $1 million is excessive. But charging is fair because it shows, not all the time, but it can help kind of decipher the real projects from the fake ones.
Yeah.
Because not saying it's fair, but it's also saying, hey, if you expect to be a real project in this space and you can't fundraise or get this type of money, whether it's, again, 50K, 100K or something, how serious are you all going about moving forward? Because this is the part of the project, unfortunately. But $1 million, I mean, woo.
Yeah.
Smooth mill.
Cool 100 mil to Coinbase, which they definitely don't need it, but I'm sure they would have accepted it if the things were in place. I think there's an issue that Coinbase doesn't want to align themselves with Ripple, so to say.
They don't need to.
Exactly, and I think honestly, Ripple's they're doing a brilliant marketing scheme for a coin that has no use for regular people. Right. Because there are still people who still to this day keep asking me, how can I buy a Ripple? And I know one thing, I'm not saying you can't make money off of it. But it is, I mean, if you look at the chart, it is the definition of pump and dump. There is no, demand coming for it. There's, people aren't saying I need Ripple to use for anything. I mean, I just don't see the use case. Plus, it's so centralized. You're basically buying it from a company. You might as well buy it from a bank. So
right. And the story came out there. We didn't really cover it. We're not going to cover it, but basically they were talking about Ripple the ledger, and that's where a lot of people kind of get the network. People get confused with Ripple the coin and Ripple the ledger and network and stuff, which to me is still still in the same pot, but it's totally different. It's two different things, and people do use that ledger. Banks use the ledger. It's basically like using the Bitcoin network.
Yeah.
They just have to do something different since they're so anti-Bitcoin. That's right. Decentralized Bitcoin, as they mentioned. Decentralized said, "Be fair, all coins charged for exchanges now." Let's see.
Yep. Yeah, that's not. I mean, like I said, if you want to be in this game, you got to pay for it now. I mean, this is the cypherpunk vision of being able to come in for free and use these exchanges on the mainstream is pretty much gone for most people. If you want to, you have to diligently look out a way to do it, underground or with other exchanges. But yeah, if you want to do mainstream, easy, quick to the point, people are going to charge you now because it's a very lucrative industry.
Right.
And I know a lot of people are like, well, if this doesn't work out, we got millions of dollars anyway. So.
Right. And that's what, Crypto Key just said that too. He says not excessive because they make a lot more money in that exchange. That's true.
Yeah.
Hey, you're right. I mean, that's the price of the game. Sergeant Crypto, shout out. They said, when is the KRBE crypto exchange coming?
Sooner than you think.
Right? No. Yeah, seriously. No, you never know. You never know what we're over here working on.
Yeah.
Crypto Key said he don't think they offer enough. Hey, that's fair. My only thing is if you do offer that much, again, if a good project can't pull that type of money together, we might see good projects go away, and then the scam coins that might be backed by organized, sophisticated criminal enterprises who can say, hey, let's throw them 20 mil. They'll get on, and they're the people who shouldn't be. So that's my only thing with the money. It does need to be a fair price point. And one thing I want to point out from a business point of view, you notice they said a $100 million loan, right? The reason why they did the $100 million loan, because they would actually give them $100 million, that will almost put a valuation on their company, people.
Yeah.
So the loan, again, this is all allegedly, but you throw that little loan thing in there, I forgot what it's called too. It's a venture something. I can't think of it off the top of my head, like a venture note type of deal.
Yeah.
But if you throw the loan term on it, you can't specifically put a valuation of that company. But what's important is, regardless of whether they meant to or not, they're putting valuations on this company. If you're going to give them a $100 million loan, that means they're good for it in some way, shape, or form. You look at the percent return on that and all that good stuff. Won't be more than 10%. So again, you are literally already looking at a multi-billion-dollar company just from being offered a $100 million loan. So if they would have taken that loan word out, that would really have changed the game for Coinbase. And again, one last thing with all this news, we have to remember this is business. This might be specifically even with Ripple, the other article, the reason why I don't want to cover it, about Ripple, the network and stuff. They could be pushing out their own media like this, people. Same with Coinbase. Coinbase could have slipped this into the story, $100 million loan, just so that valuation goes higher. This is like, business. They contact CCN. Yeah, you throw that in there. They gave us a $200 million loan.
Exactly. Yeah,
that's going to make
moving in silence. But look at me over here. I'm moving in silence.
That's going to make their valuation increase. So again, kind of look at these stories. Kind of unbiased and objectively because you never know. All right, what else going on? Cryptocurrency Verge responds to hacking claims by launching a accidental hard fork. All right, this is a very convoluted story. We don't have all the
y'all value.
Right, we don't have all the answers right here. But cryptocurrency token Verge. For those who don't know, Verge had like a 1,000,000% return last year. Lost 25% of its value April 4th as news surfaced of an apparent hack, which developers resolved by accidentally initiating a hard fork. Basically, what was going on is a 51% attack happened. Of course, that's when someone or someone's take control of over 51% of the network. They tried to stamp out that bug by recoding some stuff. People came out and said, it's a hard fork. One commenter made a great point. He was like, this is new tech. Bugs are going to happen. They're trying to fix it on the go. So do we call this a hard fork? I don't know. What's going on, Verge?
I mean, what is an accidental hard fork? You accidentally submitted the code for...
Right. People started saying, well, the old blockchain isn't working.
Yeah, exactly. So, it was a good, successful... This is an example of a successful pump and dump that was initiated by McAfee. I still remember that morning. Verge had... It was not on the radar at all. I think this was one of its first ones. They actually did like coin of the day. It may have been Verge. And when he did it, the pump was ridiculous. It was right during the time that all the altcoins got a big jump at the beginning of December. So it was like perfect timing. I think it did a times 17
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Like a day and a half or something crazy, retrace heavy, and now we're starting to see some of the tech parts of it take a dive. So yeah, I mean, they fix it. I'm not really looking at Verge as much because I need to see more from it. But yeah,
that Wraith commercial is what made all you invest. Don't think I don't know. Yeah. I saw that commercial.
Oh, yeah.
It was cool. It was a cool commercial, huh? Cool enough for you to put all your money in.
Oh yeah, but if it's a good product, you don't need a commercial.
Right. No, I'm not gonna lie. I was on the Verge train as well for a little bit.
Yeah.
It did look promising. It was one of many privacy coins that are out there. Mm-hmm. Looked like they had a working team. Of course, they were really active in Bitcoin Forum and all that. But
and the rich reward wasn't bad for a coin that cheap. I mean, It was less than a penny at one point, and I think now it's 10 cents or something like that. So
right.
Yeah.
Shout out to Decentralized.
Making it rain.
He said, hey, bear market should be ending soon with the $50 donation. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
And just to let you all know, too, those donations, we are pushing those out to, CryptoQ, Alec G, Antonio, all some of the people who help make this work, whether it's coming with all this user experience stuff you're seeing with the screen. That's all Alec works. Mm-hmm. CryptoQ's been holding down the Facebook moderator on here as well. So shout out to them. Thank you for all the help.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely want to give them a shout out. And that's where the donation will go to people.
Oh, yeah.
Decentralized also. He said, going back to paying for exchanges, he said we paid 18 Bitcoin. I think it was at 16K a Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. He paid 18 Bitcoin to get smart cash on a Chinese exchange that got shut down a month later. Wow. Ooh. Man, I know you all.
There's a lot of stories like that, too.
I know you all about to buy some plane tickets.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is one of those things where, that's tough. But the good thing is that at least you all, sounds like you're in the running to be one of the lenders that we can use instead of banks. So we'll make sure to give you all that call.
Oh, yeah. Keep your coins for the future. Yeah.
Oh, appreciate it, Decentralized. He said, got to keep the legit channels running. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. For real. All right, let's see.
And are we going to be a consensus?
New York is in May. Consensus is up in the air right now, people. We're going to try to make it.
We have a couple things that may be in the way, so yeah.
Yeah, consensus is up in the air. I think it's like May the 11th through the 15th. But we are tracking it, so we shall see very soon.
We shall see, yeah.
Korean crypto exchange execs detained on fraud and embezzlement charges.
Got him.
What? CoinNest co-founder and chief executive Kim Ek-hwan has been detained in Seoul and charged with embezzlement and fraud alongside two senior execs and the head of a second unnamed crypto exchange. A local news outlet never reported today. The executives allegedly moved customers' digital assets into their personal accounts worth billions of won, according to prosecutors, and officials are now seeking arrest warrants for detainees. It looks like this exchange is the country's 6th largest by trade volume with 500,000 registered users as of January. Now, one of the things I would say is, we know Korea is cracking down on exchanges. So, again, the information that they're provided, we don't know that's true. Yeah. It could be they decide not to play ball and pay the regulators. And then, because one thing I'm not seeing in this story is any mention of customer complaints.
Yeah, I've heard.
I'm seeing the government say you did this because, to be frank, yes, if you're running, whether this is an exchange, whatever business you're running in the crypto space right now, while you shouldn't, there are times where you might have to move things into your personal crypto accounts.
Yeah.
Honestly, they're all your personal accounts. Even if you have the exchange, of course, that's an account for everybody. But if you have the keys to it, that's your personal account, period. So if they did have to move funds, not saying that what they did is right. I'm just, being devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
Did I say that right? No, not devil's advocate. What's the movie? With the old guy.
Little Giants?
Oh, he said Little Giants. Devils. It is Devil's Advocate. Okay, yeah. Is it? I don't know. It's the guy that played the coach on Any Given Sunday.
Man.
All right.
Al Pacino? Yeah.
Scarface. Al Pacino. What was that? When he played it. Okay, Devil's Advocate. Anyway. But, seriously, this is what the government's telling us, or what they're telling the news sources. We don't know what really happened. They might have not done anything wrong. They may have to move coins to and from their personal things because of the security or because of the ease of use. We don't know.
Yeah.
But this is what's going on right here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I make it a rule of thumb. I don't really trust dudes named Kim. So, from the start.
Like, you got it. Listen, he doesn't mean that, South Korea. He doesn't mean that at all.
Look, man, I told you. Ponytails, no blinking, first name Kim. That's top 3 on my list. Or 3 of the top 5 on my list of people I don't trust. But it's one of those things where they could have done nothing wrong, and they literally came in and said, we got to get these small exchanges out of here so that the big ones can flourish because they're going to play ball.
That's true.
And that's what I think is happening in a lot of these countries. The stories they put out, whoever writes these stories, the information they get it from another news source who could have been manipulated,
again, I haven't seen any customer complaints. Really.
Customer complaints, and this story might just disappear. But if it comes back up that these, their court date, they actually got off because they didn't do anything wrong or something along those lines, then I'll believe it. But right now, it just seems like one of those. Yeah, you got too much money for a small exchange. Time for you to go.
And again, it's one of those things where I'm not excited to see regulators or police or any of these people come down on crypto exchanges until they figure out banks.
Yeah.
Like, stay away. Is the crypto real crazy? Yes, we know that. That is why there are many YouTube personalities and other people out there trying to provide good information. However, they can't control the banking situation.
Yeah.
So handle the banks first, figure out what's going on with the fiat money, and then come to crypto once you figure out that side of things. I feel like they are literally around the world, everybody's saying, you know what? This is the crypto's a thing. Like, they're acting like a bad investor right now.
Yeah.
They're not even paying attention to banks. I'm sure at this point, if I was a big bank right now, I would be laundering more money than ever. I mean, if that's what their bad business practice was, because you're not going to get caught at this point. All eyes are on crypto. They're not paying attention to JP Morgan Chase. They're not paying attention to HSBC. They're not paying attention to any of these people who have already been caught red-handed.
And what's up with Wells Fargo's fake accounts?
Fines. Yeah, but then Wells Fargo, like 2 or 3 years ago, had 5,000 fake accounts.
And they found some more. So it's like, handle that stuff first.
Come on. And that guy, I think he resigned with a freaking $28, $30 million bonus.
Yeah, come on, man.
So handle your side of the fence, and we'll eventually get to where we need to be over here.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of authorities, county authorities in rural Washington.
Speaking of Washington.
Catch unauthorized cryptocurrency miners. You better stop telling your mining story because they're going to be like, all right, but Chilling Public Utility District PUD commissioners ordered staff to enforce a moratorium on cryptocurrency mining following the discovery of unauthorized mining activities.
Unauthorized.
Basically, what's been going on in Washington and other places, of course, a lot of people in the U.S. are flooding to these smaller markets where they can get energy at a cheaper cost. But because they're doing that, they're going to these small places, mining it. Energy is skyrocketing in these places, which is a huge red flag. And now they're becoming hip to the mining that's going on. They're getting angry and trying to go after people. What are your thoughts?
Well, two things. One is very similar to, like we said before, marijuana industry. If you were trying to grow it yourself, the spike in power consumption would get you caught instantly. And this is what seems to be happening in certain places, in apartment complexes or in different warehouses and whatnot. A spike in power consumption all of a sudden, which is centralized. They can see how much power you're using. Once that happens, they kind of look and like, all right, well, what's going on here? Nobody's lights are kept on all night. And there's nothing you could be doing except running a generator that can do this. So once they find that out, number two is who gives you permission to mine Bitcoin? Like, it's literally you download software, you just start mining it. So I'm pretty sure they want to, regulate it the way they want and make money off of it. But good luck, because if you're trying to go after every miner that does this, and they call them scoundrels, which is like the oldest.
that's like the oldest insult.
That's like the oldest insult of all
time. Scoundrel.
Yeah, this scoundrel over here was using electricity to feed his family. What a scoundrel! You know what I mean? Like, they're gonna get their money either way, so they got to put it out there. But hey, Washington, Alec G and Decentralized,
I just saw them.
Talk to your people, man. What's going on in Chelan County?
Shout out to Paris Coke. They said, LOL, I just got my refund check from Wells Fargo for that fraud. See what I mean? Listen, I want a refund check and I want a letter telling me everybody who went to prison over it, since we're sending people to jail over stuff.
A town hall meeting with the board right there, so we can have a good, quick discussion.
Right. Shout out to Sergeant Crypto. He said he's at the New York City Auto Show asking everyone if they accept Bitcoin or crypto. Slow clap for you. Hey, doing God's work out there. What else we have? All right, and last but not least, one more thing I would say about this, the mining and everything. This is just the beginning. Literally, I mean, computing power is being used and stolen through CoinHive and malware attacks. You got scams and hackers. Now you got power going. I mean, literally, give it another 5 years. This environment is going to be crazy.
Ridiculous.
And if you're in cybersecurity right now, you're going to make a ton of money. If you're not in cybersecurity and you're looking to change jobs or something, it's never too late to start people, because clearly that is where the future is at.
Yep. And if you have solar panels, like somebody mentioned, or if you have some type of green energy to make your mining more efficient, you're going to be a winner in the future, because that's literally the only next step for miners. They have, like a dedicated way to build it. They know where to go. But as soon as somebody can come in and say, oh, you can use solar panels, or you can use better way to use energy, which is in compliance with whatever government is there, those people are going to be the richest people in the world, probably.
Right.
So to say.
A1 Dub says, as long as you pay the electricity bill, what difference does it make? Exactly. Even though I think some of them really aren't, but if they were, the difference is that, again, it is that envy and jealousy happening. Well, how come they can use the same thing I have and make more money than me, and we can't do it? There must be some regulation to go in with this. All right, and last but not least, ending on a great note, electronics giant Foxconn signs on to manufacture a $1,000 blockchain phone. Long story short, basically, the phone is actually going to be codenamed the Finny, it looks like, developed by Siren Labs, which is a Swiss startup. And they're saying they're going to make their first Android-based open-source blockchain smartphone with features including a built-in cold storage crypto wallet, encrypted communications, and peer-to-peer resource sharing. And they've already raised about $158 million for the Finny project. You better hope they don't exit scam on that. But no, seriously.
Nah, they don't good.
Right, no. Again, it's noble cause, but we've seen some issues in the past with cellular companies trying to do this. What's going on with them?
Oh, yeah. Well, we've seen a few attempts at blockchain phones where basically you can encrypt your data. You can use it freely without somebody peeking in on you. What I personally think about the phones is they are great. I would definitely use one if it had the encryption where you couldn't, all your information wasn't stored. However, in this market, the only thing more centralized than the banks are the digital telecommunication companies. Good luck getting a satellite in the air. I wish them the best, but it is going to be pretty hard to get that going, simply because the people who control most of the ways that you can communicate, they usually won't allow you to do it with the cell phone service. Because if you want to talk about freedom, everybody talks about getting a chip implanted, and one day everybody's gonna walk around and they're gonna know everything. They already do. It's called your phone. If you carry your phone everywhere, you implanted the chip in your pocket. They didn't even have to do a surgical a surgery for it. So with this type of phone, what happens is if you can't be tracked, you can do what you want. It gives you enough freedom to where that's kind of the nail in the coffin. If you have a phone that you can't be tracked with, using money that can't be tracked, then you kind of really are self-sufficient completely at that point. And I hope the best to them, but
right.
Sometimes these companies start off thinking they can get away. Whoa, we have a great project, because they even call it a Finny, which is Hal Finney, one of the most famous people in the Bitcoin space, which is great. But then you get that knock on the door. Yeah. Well,
I thought y'all was gonna launch a satellite.
It's like,
you heard Verizon?
Cool, we are everywhere. Exactly. And then you can have DDoS attacks. You can have media attacks. You can say this phone is for drug dealers. A terrorist used the Foxconn phone.
That's it. That is it. You put that terrorism nail in the coffin.
And then, every person in America that thinks Bitcoin's already bad or blockchain is already something scary, they're gonna just.
Don't the drug dealers use those phones? Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, So right now, if you get a prepaid phone, it's basically like, so are you selling heroin or are you extremely poor? Because it's like no in between. So
right.
Or maybe you just don't want to be tracked.
Here's the crazy thing with the prepaid phone. It used to be you could buy prepaid phones like literally off the shelf, nothing. You actually have to register prepaid phones now, which is crazy. I remember when that started happening years ago. It was wait, what?
I remember watching The Wire, thinking, oh man, that's an easy way to get around it.
Right.
You can use prepaid phones. And it was like, no.
We're going to cut that out.
Yeah, we can cut that.
Anya92 said, will you guys buy that phone? Would you buy that phone?
I would.
You would? Yeah. If it worked right.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm not big on phones. I hate phone calls anyway, so.
I can't get in touch with myself, people. I'm telling you.
I don't like talking on phones that much. I like face-to-face talk. But honestly, if there's a phone that you definitely, like somebody said, clean conscience, you don't have anything to hide. If there's a phone that can allow you to encrypt your stuff, data, just for peace of mind, in my opinion, I don't have anything to hide, but I just don't want to show you some stuff. Like, why do I need to hide something? But yeah, definitely I would use it.
That's good. Good stuff. All right, for the free Bitcoin today, what are we doing?
All right, so with Ripple's pay-to-play news coming out, how much do you think exchanges should charge?
Or that's fair.
How much do you think coins should be willing to pay in order to be a viable coin? Because, some people say, well, why is it not 50,000 or 100,000? But you may need $1 million to be a legit coin going forward. So leave us your comment, put your public address, and we'll send that free Bitcoin to you.
Hey, thank you all for watching. As always, we will see you all tomorrow. Of course, you can check us out on our podcast, Google Play Music, Spotify. Here at the bottom, you see Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, TuneIn. If you do look at the Apple Podcast, please go in there and rate and review and all that. Honestly, it doesn't matter. 1 star, 5 stars. But those ratings help us, the algorithms and all that good stuff get noticed.
We need everybody in the chat to go rate it. Even if you don't
smash that, like and share it. And of course, we love constructive criticism. So if there's some more things you'd like to see on our show or see us do, research, let us know, and we'll try to get that done for you. All right?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Oh, yeah. Have a good one.